Who believes that you can be anything you want to be? If I could see a show of hands. Yeah. What about this? There's always someone to help support and encourage you. What if you are like me and you didn't have that? What if there was nobody there to support you, and what if you didn't know what you wanted to be? This is what I was told when I was growing up. I liked math and science, which was very weird for a girl in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And I grew up in a small college town, and all my neighbors were professors. And they looked like that, too. And they saw that I liked math and science, and they said, we're going to make an engineer out of you. So I went to engineering college because I didn't know what I wanted to be. I just knew that somebody saw something in me, and I went. So college for me was a horrible experience the first time around. There was about one girl to every 9 guys. And I had a class where we actually had to learn arc welding. Because our professor said, if you're going to be an engineer, you're going to create something on paper or CAD design, and you're going to give it to somebody to make. And you need to know how they do that. So we got suited up with our overalls and the big face visor, and the professor showed me and my 14 other classmates, who were all male, how to do it. And we went from machine to machine, managing this piece of metal. And to demonstrate, he took a crude piece of metal, mine, and he used mine to demonstrate to the guys how to build a nutcracker. Pretty funny, right? This is the 80s, remember. I didn't get to touch any of it. He showed the guys. He didn't care whether I learned it or not. And I think the worst insult was I got an A in the class. And this happened several times in my college career. There were not as many women represented in the engineering fields. We do not have the STEM movement back then. We have a long way to go, but we've come so far in that. But it was a very difficult time for me, and I refused to quit. I wanted to stay. I wanted to see it through. I was very stubborn about it. After a few agonizing years, I ended up leaving, and I was embarrassed and felt like I failed, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I needed a job, and I joined a temporary agency, and I asked them to put me in as many industries as they could. So I saw technology, I saw utility companies, I saw schools, and I tried to figure out where I fit in. And then one day, I landed at a bank, and here was a great place. It was complex financial models, it was men and women working collaboratively, and it was a place I felt I could fit in. And so I started taking advantage of every training program that came my way. And I worked at night to finish my degree in business. So I want to ask you, how can this still happen? Because there are people out there, who don't know what they want to be and don't know what options there are for them. I believe that we have the ability to help them, and I have 4 ways. The first one is to let go when the time is right. I stuck on too long. I was stubborn and said, I'm going to make this work. I was miserably unhappy. I think that if we let go, we have an opportunity to see something new that we didn't know was in our future. Second is find your own mentor. I didn't have a mentor. Mentors weren't a big thing in the 80s, and they're a really big thing now. But don't wait for somebody to take you under their wing. Go find your own mentor, or find a group of mentors. But there's somebody out there who sees what's inside of you and can help you. Take the job. Try something, even if you don't know what it is, even if you are unsure if you're going to excel, because you get your foot in and you learn. You learn how the nutcracker is made. You get to see the steps of an organization. And isn't there great power for when you are a leader that you get to say, I know how hard your job is because you've done it. And if a company doesn't see your worth and your abilities, then it's not the right company for you. And then see lesson number 1. The last one is teach. I think that we all owe it to each other and to ourselves to share what we've learned. It's counterintuitive, but one of the lessons my dad taught me was teach someone else how to do your job. You think that it's job security by being the only one who knows how to do it, but it's just the opposite. Your boss is not going to promote you if there's no one else that can do your job. So I firmly believe in that. And then lastly, embrace the tiger. This is a phrase my boss uses, and he says that if you turn around and embrace the tiger that's chasing you, you have a far better chance of taking control of your own life and seeing what's coming towards you. Don't hide. Don't waste time. Life is precious. Embrace the tiger. Thank you.